Vosh, I'm worried about the impact I have on people around me because I'm not a narcissist. That doesn't make me self-centered. Vosh, do you get off on lying to people? Vosh, ignoring the impact I have on people around me is not good. Vosh, you said within the past week, ugly people have less worth. You can't say it doesn't matter now. All right, Mortaray, I have some news for you that you might already be aware of. You are deeply mentally ill. And I'll break it down for you, don't worry. So, first of all, defensive much? Calm the down. Vosh, do you get off on lying to people? The answer is yes, you know that. I'm a live streamer. I cover politics, obviously, okay? Come on, what do you think deep state agents are for? For two, ignoring the impact I have on people around me is not good. What you're doing right now is called rationalizing. You hate yourself, and you're trying to come up with logical reasons for you to hate yourself. But you understand it comes across as irrational for you to center that process on your own thoughts about yourself. So instead, you're trying to pretend that it's like you being magnanimous or considerate or aware of others' feelings by hating yourself, you know? Vosh, you said within the past week that ugly people have less worth. No, I have never in my life said this. Ugly people might be less respected, like in terms of social perceived value, yeah, but worth, no? Those are very different. Like me saying society views black people worse than white people because society is racist would not be me saying black people have less worth. That's an insane leap, you know? Vosh, you said you don't care if you make people feel bad. It's okay to make other people feel bad sometimes. You know that, right? If you're out in public and your existence inconveniences people, that's not necessarily your fault or your problem. If you're a trans woman and you're walking around and you're like clocky as and you're serving fish and there are people who are like, ugh, that's their problem. That's not your problem. You're not responsible for that shit. That's on them. That's not on you. If you're fat and you're walking around, yeah, maybe you're blocking the sidewalk a little bit. Maybe that inconveniences some people. Whatever. What, are you going to apologize for existing? You pussy? You bitch? Oh, sorry about my literal body. The flesh prison my soul exists in. What are you talking about? Don't be a bitch. Vosh, you said ugly people have less worth and you asked them tonight. I don't think I didn't say this. Being fat makes you take up more space, which is inconvenient to people around you and makes people have a bad opinion of you. Not being aware of that is stupid. You can be aware of how others perceive you. I've never said for you to not be aware. I'm telling you to not fixate or obsess. Who cares? Literally, who cares? Why are you obsessed with who cares? Yeah, don't be afraid to take up space is literally like the mantra of self-love, right? I could never understand you. This is actual doormat behavior. It's bitch behavior is what it is. I've never thought like this. You think I give a shit if I take up space? I don't care. I'm me. Oh, sorry for existing. The language of an absolute moron. Yeah, exactly, Tesseract. The narcissism of people pretending to be humble. Look at how much you want to talk about yourself, Mortaray. You care about you being fat. Don't pretend it's other people. Don't pretend other people on the street give a shit, dude. You're just one fat person out of hundreds of millions, okay? No one gives a shit. Someone sees you and maybe they think, oh, they're fat, whatever. They're going to see 50,000 other fat people today, okay? They don't give a shit. You're the one who's obsessed with it. You're the one who's self-obsessed. You're the narcissist. Literally, vermin. And you're reacting negatively to me because I called you out on it. Vosh, you're asking people to ignore reality. Look at you making your feelings reality. I never said you can't be aware of anything negative about yourself. Also, I never used the term negative to describe being fat. Since when is it narcissism to be concerned about your own weight? Are you being stupid on purpose? Are you kidding me? Are you deliberately missing the point of the assignment? Are you not listening to a damn thing I say? This is the problem that I have with you people and with people in general. All my life, I've been burdened with my gigantic 9001 IQ brain, and I say a thing and I mean a thing and the meaning is clear, and then you stumble at the first hurdle. You put no effort in to understand the shit that I'm saying and you get mad at me for it. You're getting tripped up in your own feelings. You're not listening to me. You're listening to the little goblin in the back of your voice or your mind with the voice telling you that like actually everything that you hear in this subject is a personal attack against you. All of this is to be framed in the context of your narcissistic obsession with framing basic tenets of self-love and positivity as like a call for you to not literally be aware of the circumference of your waist? Who's saying this? I'm not saying this. You're saying it because you want to make my words sound ridiculous so you can continue to ignore them and justify the feelings you have about yourselves. Even when I was nearly 300 pounds, did I hate myself? No, not even a little bit. I'm sorry, folks. I'm 6'2", I was 300 pounds. And by the way, folks, have I ever been particularly considerate about the position that I take up in physical space and reality? No, I have not. I have one life on this planet. I am not going to let you people with your obsessive self-esteem issues get in the way of me jiggling my fat ass in the bus, okay? I'm not shrugging and hiding in a corner just because you guys are afraid of your own weight. I didn't hate myself then. I don't hate myself now. Maybe you could stand to learn something because it seems I'm in a better mental place than you are. Oh no, my body has the properties of a pillow. I don't look twinky, Violice. I'm like 210 now. Vosh, congrats, you're a detriment on society. I try not to be. Mortare, the only thing you're being a detriment to society. First of all, I'm not a detriment to society in the slightest. I wake up every day knowing that I contribute more positivity to it than, let's be real here, you or most of the people in chat do. Just as a product, both of my radiant personality and the fact that I have a platform. For two, the only person here who's being a detriment on society is you, and it's because of your attitude. Mortare, your fat gut is not affecting me right now. Your jiggly folds are not touching me. You know what is affecting me? Your negativity, your attitude. Your attitude is fat with narcissism. It's bloated with self-obsession, all right? You have overconsumed self-hatred. And you, my fella, it's time to cut, all right? You got a fatitude, and it has nothing to do with your weight. How's being self-aware narcissistic? Mortare, I can't fix you. I can't fix you. I can't make you not hate yourself. You have to choose to make that decision yourself, okay? You got to dial it back. I can't fix your brain. Maybe the reason why Mortare doesn't want to fix his brain is because he's too self-conscious. The brain is 70% fat. He doesn't even want to touch it. As if society would be made a better place if every tubby person is like, I hate how much space I take up in public. You're weak. You would not have survived the Mongol tribal unification, okay? Genghis Khan would have sent 2,000 horse archers to your village, and you would have been crying in a corner while they massacred your people. They would have taken your women off, man. You would not have been ready. Isn't a small amount of narcissism good for you? No, we're not talking about narcissism. We're just talking about being confident. The internet has poisoned people's brains. People are so used to self-hatred, they think it's conceited to love yourself. You can actually get flamed online for being positive about yourself. It's insane. It's considered relatable. Why is self-hatred relatable? Why is, like, self-deprecating humor relatable? Why? Why is it that if a comedian or some Twitter poster says something like, oh, I'm garbage, I hate myself, that's relatable? Who says relatable when they see a post that's like, yeah, I rock? Not you. I do. That's what makes me different. That's the Vosh difference. Somebody posts something along the lines of, I'm feeling great today. I see that and I'm like, that's me. That's the difference between you and me, man. When you quote tweet a picture of a garbage can and you're like, this is literally me. I quote tweet a video of a kitten rolling around on a bed and I say, that's literally me. My body and my mind are infused with positivity, yours with negativity. We'll see who survives the winter. Do I just lie? I know it's bad, but I just don't feel that way. It's not about how you present yourself to other people. It's about how you feel about yourself. People just like to essentialize. Why is it when you do a good thing, people think, I did a good thing. But if you do a bad thing, people think, I am a bad person. What's up with that? You have to live and let live. You have to roll with it a little bit. Actual bad people never consider themselves bad. Wrong, Benjamin. Actually, in my opinion, it's the self-deprecatory pieces of shit who are most often abusive and terrible to others, you know? I'm trying to think of a specific content creator who I hate who fits the bill. Let's just say all of them. Everyone I don't like, you know? They do that bit where they're like, you know, performatively self-aware and self-conscious, but in their self-deprecatory obsession, they drag other people down with them, you know? Kind of like that one stand user in Stone Ocean where he's like, I hate myself and I kill myself, but every time he tried to kill himself, he, like, through his stand power, tried to kill someone else too. I understand, Araki. I know about the kind of person you're talking about. Highway to Hell, thank you. They tell you immediately. That's why self-deprecation just turns me off now. Like, shut the fuck up, man. If you want to be hyped up, just ask. I'll hype you up. Yeah, literally. If you're my bud, if you're in the social space with me and you're being self-deprecatory, at this point, I'll just agree with. I don't give a shit. I'll just agree with you. It's your job to emotionally self-manage. I'm not. Someone's like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, and I'm like, yeah, I guess do better next time. Like, you. What am I here to like compliment you on your disingenuous, like self-hatey? If you want me to gas you up, I'll gas you up. Then just you have to feed into the positivity. I'm not here to give you my spoons. I'm an adult. I pay taxes. Yeah, but you don't tip your landlord? I do. That's the Vosh difference. Did you work out or did you just stick to calorie counting and walking for your weight loss stuff? Just calorie counting and walking. Is it better to sound performatively arrogant rather than self-deprecating? I feel like there's probably a healthy middle ground. This is to me, actually, my litmus test for whether or not you guys are mentally on the up and up is whether or not people in chat think I'm arrogant or self-aware, or in which direction they think I lean. I talk myself up pretty often, but when I talk myself up in an overly performative way, I try to frame it in a way that makes it pretty clear that I'm being, you know, satirical about it. It's a joke. People are jokingly self-deprecatory all the time. If somebody says, oh, I want to kill myself, do you think that means literally they want to kill themselves, like necessarily? I've said that shit, man. I've dropped a cookie on the kitchen floor and gone like, well, killing myself. Like, I'm not, like, that's not, like, obviously, unless you're a lunatic, you don't interpret that coming from like a millennial or younger as somebody actually indicating suicidal ideation or whatever. So why is it that when I or somebody like me says something overly grandiose in a joking way, people interpret that as arrogance? Because you motherfuckers are insecure and you can't see that shit and you're frightened by it. That's why. When I do performatively grandiose stuff, the people in chat who can't recognize what I'm doing, you got a barrier you need to work through, man. And I see it. I do see it. I see every one of you. I see into your hearts. I see into your souls. Most of you understand that it's to a large extent a bit. Obviously, the many, many times I do the overly grandiose, self-performative, blah, 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 blah. But it's just nobody's used to that. Everybody's used to the other one where it's like performative, self-deprecatory humor. I'm bringing it back. We need to be more positive. Exactly, Easlet. I just want people to be happy. You know, some of you people are so miserable and it's all going on in your head. I mean, that's what misery is. It's an emotional experience, obviously. So, you know, of course, that's how that works. Politics, please. This is politics. I've always believed the trick is to hype up things you're insecure about and self-deprecate the things you're secure about. I think, look, to start, you have to, okay, step number one, don't spiral when something goes wrong, okay? People do shit. People make mistakes. If you do something or you say something that in some way like negatively impacts your life or another's, for the most part, you have to understand like it's not that big of a deal. The brain has processes that kick in during times of extreme stress that allow us to cope. This is why, and I bet you this has happened, if you guys have ever been in a bad car accident, you've probably, after, you know, you get out of the immediate days, you're probably in a weird state of calm. In spite of the fact that, like, obviously, after a bad car accident, you are in many ways worse off than you would be after having done something that probably would not make you feel weirdly calm. Like, for example, dropping a cookie on the kitchen floor. I bet you there have been days where you guys have gotten some stuff together in the kitchen, you kind of got it like piled up on a plate in your hands and stuff, and then you like spill one thing on the ground, and then you go, oh, and then you spill a second thing, and you're thinking in your head, I want to end it. I got it. This is it, man. This is it. This is my 13th reason. But obviously, objectively speaking, the inconvenience you've just incurred is nothing compared to that of a severe car accident, right? So why? Why exactly does the brain give you that ability to work through stress in severe situations, but not in minor ones? Well, you know, the brain's defensive. It's like the adrenaline rush you get when you're in severe danger, right? Your brain kicks in when you really need it to. What you need to do is supplement that brain ability at all times. You need to be that process. It can't always be your brain doing the work, man. It can't always be the subliminal. You have to engage with it consciously. If something happens that stresses you out, or that makes you feel bad about yourself, or that's negative, you take a deep breath, you think about how much it actually means, how you actually need to deal with it, what does it actually mean? Oh, you're delayed in the kitchen for 2 minutes because you have to set your stuff down, clean up the mess, then get it back up. That's obviously nothing. Would you be bothered if the 2-minute delay was instead your cat jumping up on the counter and you petted the cat? 2 minutes? Is 2 minutes that important to you in this moment in time? After you just finished microwaving your store-bought cookies? Or were you really rushing for time? No, you weren't. You trip in front of someone you think is cute. You miss a train. You miss a bus. You have an awkward interaction on a dating app and you feel like, oh, wait, hold on. I didn't mean it to be like interpreted that way. And then they block you because you think you might have insulted them or you're not really sure and you feel kind of bad about yourself. How much do these things really matter? They don't at all. They do not. Nor do they reflect on you as a person. You are not any individual bad thing that you've done or any action that has happened. You're an aggregate of your feelings, your personality, your character, your decision-making processes, your experiences, your memories, blah, 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 blah. You know, you've been at this for a while. If you're watching this stream, I would like to believe that you've been at this for at least like a decade and a half. You know, you've got there's a lot of inertia behind your life. One little individual bad thing doesn't change that in a substantive way. Now, obviously, if you've made a pattern of doing bad things, you know, you've got two ways of handling that. Either you just give up on life or you make active efforts to change things for the better. Maybe you're weirdly self-deprecatory. Maybe you're weird and off-putting to other people. Maybe this, maybe that. As I've gotten older, I've cared less and less about how other people feel about me because I've realized that other people care about me less than I thought they did. My friends and family care about me. My partner cares about me. But random people on the street, a random awkward interaction on a dating app, a person that I like accidentally shoulder check while walking by outside of a bar at like 1 a.m., I will never meet these people again. And they're probably not going to think about me in the future either. They're probably not going to reflect on their life 3 years from now and go, damn, that one awkward interaction I had on that dating app with that one person who came across kind of rude, even though they probably didn't mean to, even though I had 7 other interactions on that dating app that single day and thousands over the course of the past 2 years, that was pretty rough. They're not thinking that. So if they're not thinking that much about it, neither should you. Focus on the process. Work on the process. Focus on the positive bits. Less so on the negative bits. If you focus on the positives, you can focus on the stuff that you want to be, the stuff that you want to do, the changes that you want to make. If you focus on the negative, all you end up doing is hating yourself. Like Mortaray. You might notice, folks, and I hate to go back and pick on Mortaray again, but I'm going to anyway, that all of the self-obsession in the world hasn't stopped Mortaray from being fat, has it? All of the self-hatred, all of the obsessive, fastidious, I need to keep track of how my gut affects other people, has it made Mortaray any less fat? No. So what good was it for? I mean, if the goal was to be aware of the weight loss, I mean, clearly that isn't what change has been made? What positive impact has there been? Years and years of self-hatred for what? To give other people maybe slightly more berth on public transit? It's insane. It makes no sense. Just focus on the positives, okay? You've never had a small interaction with a stranger that stuck with you forever, even if you didn't want it to? It used to happen more than it does now. Genuinely, today, no. Literally, no. The older I've gotten, the less it's bothered me. Now it doesn't bother me at all. I just don't care. I genuinely think the positive interactions stick with me from strangers more than the awkward ones. I think so too. I genuinely do believe that, yeah. But you need to let that happen. Past a point, the self-obsession is a choice, okay? You have control over what you do. Like, don't buy into that bullshit. Don't like, oh, you know, I'm just following the eddies and waves of the currents caused by my brain and the chemical signals and you have control over what you do, you know? You can't control how you feel, but you can control how you respond to those feelings. And a lot of you people respond to them with rationalization. Obsessive rationalization. All the feelings I have are objectively correct, especially the self-hating ones. Come on. Vosh, what can I do to stop overthinking stuff? It used to be worse, but I have literally no idea what changed. Overthinking stuff is a part of life. Overthinking stuff is a cognitive process you don't necessarily have immediate control over. You need to work on the long-term arc. Not about, oh, I'm never going to have a bad day again. Not, I'm never going to have a bad interaction again. Not, I'm never going to fixate on some weird, awkward whatever. Sometimes life is like that. You know, I have bad days. I'm not suggesting that there's some kind of innate fundamental difference in our like cognitive capacity here, like I'm incapable of feeling negative. I never really feel negative about myself, I have to say. That's just not an experience that I have. But in terms of like general negativity, yeah, sure. Like, oh, I don't like today very much. Sure, okay. That's life. It's about the pattern building. I will say though, like the older I get, the more I think like, holy shit, every moment that I've ever spent thinking about interactions that I've had with other people that have been a little awkward was a wasted moment. Genuinely wasted. Do you learn anything from those interactions? No, you don't. They're just thrown there by you to make you feel worse. Why? Who cares? Oh, I agree, Vermin. Certainly sometimes people could just strictly benefit from therapy or medication. I'm just talking like general mindset stuff. But yeah, you know, if you got it bad, talking to a therapist ain't a terrible idea. Is it still okay to feel negative about it? Zap stars! You failed at the first hurdle. You already lose. You're asking me, is it okay to... Who am I? What do you mean? Are you asking me permission to use the restroom in class? May I use the restroom? You don't need to ask for my permission. If I never felt bad about myself, I'd never take action to get better. That sounds like a therapy thing to me. You only take action to get better if you feel bad about yourself? Do you have no ambition? Do you only, like, take a shower when you start to get uncomfortably stinky? I don't understand that at all. You don't want to just better yourself as a natural product of life? That, to me, that sounds like you've got other issues at hand here. Negativity is not going to fix that. We're born to burn. This is boring, I'm leaving. Here, I'll help you. As someone with pretty severe anxiety and self-hatred issues, it's really hard to take advice from someone who claims they've never felt bad about themselves. What could your advice possibly do for me if you'd ever been in your position? Well, it sounds to me like you're looking for an excuse to discount the validity of my perspective because I just don't have self-hating tendencies. I mean, the underlying truth here remains the same. Maybe the path to that truth is different for you, right? Like, maybe for you, the road to get to the promised land is different from the road that I've had to take. But I think that the promised land is the same, like, right? Like, in an underlying sense. You didn't answer the question. You typed that out while I was mid-answering the question. What did you gain from that exactly? Too much of a coward to express your own discontent? You hop on the back of another's question? You needle me when I'm in the middle of answering them? You're weak. You're weak. You're in the goddamn peanut gallery. You're a mouse who thinks he's a man. They need therapy. You all need therapy. But you're self-critical, right? Not the same as self-hatred? I mean, self-critical and self-hatred are so far apart from one another that it's kind of like you asking me, well, you don't experience self-hatred, but do you like ice cream? To which the answer is yes, but I'm lactose intolerant, so, you know, like I have to watch myself with it. I'm not sure if I care for the implication. I would say that in a lot of ways, you know, self-hatred is as far from being self-critical as possible. Critical thinking is about, like, proper analysis, right? Self-hatred, you're coming to the party with your feelings already pre-assigned. Hatred. Kind of the opposite of analytical thinking, right? What can I do if I don't trust my own judgment / intelligence? I mean, who else do you go to? Someone else who's in your brain? Your opinions are your own. What if you, like, what other authority are you deferring to if not you in the, like, with regard to your feelings? We're not talking about your own judgment when it comes to, like, I don't know, measuring stuff with a ruler. If we're talking empirics, you can go to anyone else, sure. But if you're talking about your own judgment on the situation around you, only you can tell you how you feel, right? I don't know who else is, like, supplying the opinion there for you to defer to. Isn't it better to be over-aware than under-aware? When have I said don't be aware? I've never spoken against awareness. I've never said don't be aware of anything. Awareness is fine. Maybe hyper-awareness is bad if you're being, like, weirdly fixated on it. Mortare, I'm just saying that you, like, dedicate... Mortare, you have one life on this earth. You're going to spend a significant portion of it hating fat cells on your body because you're delusional and you think that everyone else in society around you is also thinking, like, man, my day would be so much better if I had 6 more inches of room around this guy, but because he's fat, I have 6 less inches of room. Like, you have convinced yourself that your delusional self-hatred is just a mirror for others' feelings towards you, and it's not true. Not gonna lie, I'm being a little bit presumptuous, but I'd be willing to bet that attitude has probably kept you at a gut size you're not happy with. Self-hatred does not help you lose weight. That's the facts. There's data backing that one up. Vosh, you did shit on me after I said being aware isn't wrong. Yeah, probably because you said it with the implication that I was speaking against awareness and not against something else. Oh yeah, here we go. You didn't say aware, you liar. You said concerned. Since when is it narcissism to be concerned about your own weight? Viator AO1, do you have any last words? The council has decided you don't get a final meal. Why did you say that I used the word awareness or responded to the word awareness? Did I see the word awareness here? Are you referring to this one 4 minutes later that I don't remember responding to? Self-awareness is not hating oneself, Jesus. But I never spoke against self-awareness. When have I ever said, chat, have I said you shouldn't be self-aware at any point during this? This is what I mean about the delusion. Your self-obsession, your self-hatred is you lacking self-awareness. The least self-aware person here is Mortaray, because Mortaray is convinced himself that the entire universe is out here scrutinizing his belt size. That's a lack of self-awareness. You think hating yourself or being self-critical is the same as lacking, or it's the same as being self-aware. Exactly, the shame spiral, vermin. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. Dude, I am not a native speaker, you asshat. Dog died, cat died, house burned down. God forbid you disagree with a VGG chatter. They're non-binary, they're the ADHD, BPD, anxiety, trauma, ESL. God damn, man. It was their birthday. Why do you have so many brain-broken social outcasts in your community? Extra demon, I'd actually be willing to bet I have fewer of them in my community than like the average live streamer. I just talk about these issues, so it brings them out. Seriously, like there are so many miserable people. Mortaray, just ignore him on this. He's not a mental health professional. He's calling you dumb for feeling a certain way that's not in your control. You can call people dumb for their feelings. I stand by that. Vosh giving mental health advice is literally taking years off my life. Man, you're not... Bro! First of all, Mortaray wasn't describing his feelings. He was describing other people's feelings. He was saying, me hating my body is actually my self-awareness. That's not a feeling he's having. That's a delusional, narcissistic, self-hatey belief. That's not the same. But Vosh, this is the thing I'm trying to tell you. Not everyone's brain has the capacity to regulate like that. Same thing with the self-love thing. Just don't freak out. Just don't love yourself. Self-consciousness is not a choice, though. Geez, dude, I think you're wrong. No one chooses to. Well, I guess no one can do anything then. I'm really sorry. If you're like locked into a position where you're like, actually, you can't tell people to improve themselves because they have the brain switch that means you can't improve yourself, then it's over then, I guess. Like, what do you want then? Jesus, man. Yeah, it's like black pill incel logic framed through psychobabble, you know? Just lie down and rot. You're a dude who's never experienced disordered sense of identity and mood, telling people they are dumb and cringe for feeling a way that their brain makes them feel. No, I'm calling them that for factual statements they're making about the world. Well, they're not factual. They're in the realm of an empirical statement. They're not true. Psychological equivalent of if you're homeless, just buy a house. It's not only dumb, it's harmful. You are rationalizing a worldview that excuses people who give nothing and who don't try. This attitude right here, people over so badly. This like ruins people. Man, I'm really sorry, but getting better does take mental effort. That's all. There's no getting around that. And if people can't do it, then they fall. That's it. That's life. Eating food requires your body to digest. Well, not everyone's body can digest food. Then they die. What do you want from me? Not everyone's heart can pump blood. Okay. You should still try. I don't get it. The dude's dangling from a cliff edge being like, not everyone has strong grip strength. I know, but you have to try right now. Yelling is funny. Loud is funny. This is true. They've known this for a long time. Literally, my brain is like that, but I'm on SSRIs and I'm so much better. That's good. I'm not anti-therapy or anti-psychiatric medication. Just curious, Vosh, you don't think it's natural for people to have periods in life when they feel miserable and negative about stuff? Oh, who says anything about natural? It's natural for animals to kill themselves because they, I don't know, wait, do animals kill themselves? No, I think that's just a human thing for the most part. It's natural for animals to lick their own poopy buttholes, okay? Who's talking natural? All right? If it happens, it happens. Just try your best. Penguins do? Yes, they do. Well, I think they shouldn't. I think that penguins shouldn't kill themselves. Where is therapy for penguins? You make them watch Happy Feet. Are we moving on to something of substance? You guys will never... The real red pill that I took on online politics is that mental health, especially men's mental health, is more foundational to political belief and, like, the zeitgeist of these movements than any actual politics. Nobody's getting into the alt-right pipeline because they like read up a Wikipedia page on economic policy, but you motherfuckers think you're smart for obsessing over it. Meanwhile, you ignore the fact that 99% of the time, the reason people join radical political movements, whether it be Nazism or communism, is because they go online and like they're depressive because the person they like doesn't like them back, and then they see a meme about how the people from that group are bad or whatever, and it's like a Wojak or something. Like you people are less rational than you think. Median voter syndrome is within the house, my folks. The call is coming from within the room. Okay, you are the median voter. I'm sorry to say. Did you guys get into leftism because you were just an apolitical 13-year-old who then happened to pick up something by Gramsci or Marx or Engels, and you were like, what an astute idea, and then you moved over to the left and you were like, I'm here for the policy. You got into it because the social clicks, and you watch me because I'm funny. All right, let's not get it twisted. All right, you're a dumb animal, and I know that because I am too. All right, you can survey 1,000 people who are out there Pepe posting on Twitter, and you'll find like 98% of them got into politics because of some stupid quirk of social psychiatry. Okay, talking about depression, well-being, weight loss, sexual and relationship advice, these things are way more relevant to the reasons people get into politics than any foreign policy discussion. Now, I think those things are important too, but for the people who are like turning their nose up at this shit, you're missing the point. You're missing the point, like, badly.